Howdy folks, and welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. We've got an unusual one for you to start off with. This is Alpha Beta Ceta, and well, those of you who were playing World of Tanks over the weekend, towards the end of Gamescom, may have noticed that Wargaming were having some, how can we put this delicately, some server issues. It looks like they forgot to feed the server hamster, and for a few hours there on Sunday night, it was almost as if everybody was playing from Australia. Alpha Beta Ceta here in the Skoda T50 Tier 9 medium tank in a Tier 10 battle on the Mountain Pass map, but none of that's really important because of what happens when all the server hamsters go on strike at the same time. And there we go. And it's not just him, it's everybody on both teams. I've never seen anything like this. External camera there just to have a look around, see what's going on. Absolutely nothing. Wow. I didn't play World of Tanks on Sunday night. It was the day I came back from Gamescom, and I had far more important things to do, like get Mingles with Jingles done. But I heard I heard reports that the game was unplayable for hours on Sunday night. Look at that, the tracks are spinning, but nobody's home. And pretty soon, chat is going to start kicking off. Many jimmies were rustled to bring you this part of the video. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, I've seen lag spikes. Everybody's had lag spikes. But when you have a lag spike, your screen freezes. But when your connection stabilizes, you're back in charge of your vehicle. You might have traveled 150 meters from the last time you were able to actually control the vehicle, usually with fatal consequences, as you drive face first off the edge of a cliff or into a river. But I've never seen where every vehicle in the battle just freezes in place for anything up to 20 seconds before everybody at the same time regains control of their vehicle. So, yeah, World of Tanks, Sunday night, Australian server edition. Anyway, what's next? I'll tell you what's next. E25 platoon on the Pilsen map. Oh, by the way, word of warning for future reference. Some of you might have noticed that my voice has sounded a little bit funny. In the last couple of videos, I am coming down with a cold. I catch a cold every summer, and it's bloody awful. It hasn't actually spread as far as my throat yet, but it's going to. And so, well, pretty soon I'm not going to be able to talk. And that can be a problem when you put videos up on YouTube for a living, so you can probably expect a couple of episodes of Why You Have to Be Mad to be appearing quite soon. We'll see how this cold goes. Right, anyway, on with the battle. This is Tikkarag 26, and this is Falklang. And they're in the premium Tier 7 German tank destroyer, the E25, in a Tier 7 maximum battle, random battle, here on the Pilsen map. Question: is the E25 overpowered, or is it just Tikkarag and Falklang who are overpowered? I'll present the evidence, you be the judge. They start off by sticking together and piling over to the eastern end of the map. In fact, most of the team piles over to the eastern end of the map in classic lemming train fashion, something that's going to be a cause of great consternation to the team's M12 artillery for most of this game. Initially, I thought Tikkarag here was going to park here and snipe with his camo net and binoculars, but nope, he's having none of that. By contrast, Falklang does. And, well, you'll see why that's not such a great idea in the E25, particularly when you do have aggressive, friendly tanks pushing forward. There are very, very narrow fields of fire through the gaps in the buildings up here, and when they're obstructed by friendly tanks, you're wasting your time sitting back here. Unless you're in an especially tall vehicle, which the E25 isn't, you can't shoot over the top of the friendly tanks up front. So Falkland abandons the position and heads forward as well. Meanwhile, as Tikkarag rushes forward here, you can see that the friendly M12 is already registering his displeasure with his team's dispositions. And yet, well, his map works just as well as everybody else's, particularly the M41 artillery on the team, who saw quite plainly that the team had completely abandoned the western side of the map, and he's positioned himself behind a whole bunch of friendly tanks. If the M41 can reposition, why can't the M12? Well, he can, but it's easier just to stay where he is and complain about it. Jackson there getting ripped apart by autocannon fire from these cheeky little luxers up front. Set them on fire, these little buggers need to die, and fast, and so that's exactly what the E25 platoon does. Cover your eyes, kids, cruelty to small tanks. There's one looks down. There's the other one down. And now Tickerag's going for full ramming speed on the Crusader, and that's going to rustle his jimmies as well. All the while avoiding fire from an 88 over in the open over there. And he's their next victim. Well, I say he's their next victim. Falkland's pretty much going to do a drive-by and ignore him and leave him to Tickerag. So with Tickerag here, as he blows the tracks off and immobilises the 88, making him a sit-and duck for himself and the VK2801, who takes a very, very nasty bit of splash damage there from enemy artillery, but the 88 can't go anywhere and he's dead. So, what did Falkland have to do? It was so important. He left the 88 to Tickerag. Falkland spotted himself a T-37. And it says a lot about the E-25 that even a light tank can't escape from an E-25 when the E-25 is determined to kill you. Is he going to ram him? He's not going to ram him. Falkland doesn't do ramming, that's all Tickerag. Anyway, he's killed the T-37. So it's at this point where the platoon's been split up for a bit, and we're going to stick with Falkland for the moment, because he's the first one who's going to re-engage the enemy. He's not stopped pretty much since he abandoned that sniping position at the beginning of the game. And he's about around this corner and come up against two mediums and a Tiger. So he ain't going to stop. And there they are. VK, T-3485. First shot misses, second shot hits. The VK misses the return shot, plants another one into him, and he's getting out of here. He ain't going to stop. And just as those three enemy tanks are all turning their turrets to point in the direction of Falkland, that's when Tickerag comes around the corner and basically just does a rinse and repeat. His first shot at the VK kills him. Now the T-3485. And he doesn't hang around waiting for that Tiger. Instead, he does exactly what Falkland did and beats it into cover around here. Meanwhile, Falkland, while all that was going on, has found himself another target. Enemy artillery, who shotguns and defends himself successfully against the VK-28, but he's never going to survive an E-25 on his flank. Meanwhile, Tickerag hangs a left instead of a right, rounds the corner, and claims the killing blow against the Tiger as well. So, 3 enemy tanks in one circuit. And Falkland has found himself even more artillery to play with. Just in the dip in the low ground over there, the AMX-13F3, and the only thing that's surprising about this is that it actually takes him 3 shots to kill him. Meanwhile, the Crusader is still complaining about how grossly overpowered the E-25s are. And, well, you know, he may have a point, because, well, the enemy team are down 11 tanks, and Tickerag and Falkland have killed 10 of them. So, there has been a fair amount of kill stealing going on here, however. These two guys are not going to finish the match with a massive amount of damage done. There have been a couple of very, very low, i.e. single-digit health kills that have been happening here, but right place, right time, and they're thirsty for more. There's the M12, got taken out by the T-25-2. Fairly inevitable, saw that one coming a mile away. M12 just sat in the same corner of the map, complaining that his team had left him there. Hey, if the M41 is capable of moving, so's the M12, but you just want to sit there. And then, plot twist, somebody else on the team actually kills something. The T-25-2's dead, and it wasn't Falkland or Tickerag who killed it. Well, that's just damned unsporting. They're going to have to start stepping up their game. What's left to kill? Only 3 enemy tanks, and there's one of them, an IS-2. Now, there's a little bit of a break in communication between the two of them here. Initially, Tickerag was just going to take one shot and then go for a drive-by, but Falkland comes in through the exit, and they do get in each other's way here, but that's as nothing compared to this from the T-3485, who actually came in behind the IS-2, and then, for some bizarre reason, thought it might be a good idea to park in front of the IS-2's gun and in front of the guns of these two E-25s, making this kill take far longer than it should have.